And so we had to figure out, one, why is the re-emphasis on local happening? And two, how can you profit tremendously off of it? And so my talk is Twitter, mobile, and geo, the local remnant. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about, I'll just do this. This is worse.
Huh? Yeah.
And so I'll talk a little bit about how the hell we got to this point anyway with the web, so a little bit of history. Mobile GPS and the check-in phenomenon. Twitter's role in geolocation, which is why you're all here, because this is a Twitter meetup.
Yeah.
And you all tweet, I hope. By the way, at Ben Parr, B-E-N-P-A-R-R.
Two
I'll
R's.
give you 30 seconds to put your mobile phones down. And then the last part, we'll talk just how to seize on the location trend. And this is also a group discussion, so there are going to be a lot of times where I call upon you to give me some thoughts and give some ideas and to share what you think, what you've heard. And so why don't we begin with how the hell we got here anyway? And so local's always been a part of the web. But boy, did we fuck up in the beginning. And let me give you the prime example of this during the .com. 1998. Cosmo.com. Raise your hand if you've heard of Cosmo. All right, I want someone to just explain what Cosmo is for everybody else. Someone volunteer. Okay.
Yeah,
Loud.
so you would order movies, or you can even order lunch, and it would arrive within an hour or so. It was started out in New York, but it spread out to San Francisco.
Exactly. They promised in 1 hour, based on your location, we can get you anything. We can get you toilet food, toilet paper. I don't remember what. All I know is it is one of the biggest flameouts in the .com era, along with Webvan and all the other fun ones you remember. And so I was actually talking before. They got it very wrong because, one, this is not really a web product. The web doesn't magically make things come to you in an hour. That's distribution channels. That's what FedEx is good at. This is not the internet. The internet does not have teleportation abilities.
Damn.
I know, right? And so that's how we completely effed up in the beginning. And in fact, really what the trend was for the during this era, just press that time, was message boards, chat rooms, GeoCities websites, things that spread across. Location was de-emphasized. Where you lived didn't matter because you could talk to anyone at any time. But then when we came back in 2004, location started becoming important again. Now which company do you think made location important that started in 2004? You can't answer. Someone else try. You can't answer either. Your turn. And say your name.
I'm at Jan.
What company?
Jan.
No. But
Google.
No. Google was before. I think Yelp was 2005. Facebook. Think about Facebook in the beginning. It was closed local networks, your colleges, your location, and then it became cities. But it was really about these small locations and reconnecting, focusing on the local connections and your friends. But it wasn't true location. Because it didn't know really where you are. You just said a general city area. It wasn't very precise. So you could have this general area, but when you traveled, it didn't help you at all because it didn't help you very much at least, because it couldn't help you find local stores. It couldn't help you really find local friends, at least at that time. And so innovations like 2005 Yelp or 2005 Loot, which came out then, started thinking about location is starting to become important. In 2007, Bright Kite, which unfortunately was a disappointment, but still, started hooking up on this trend. But the reason now that location really works is because of mobile and GPS. Because of these lovely little devices that we have here, these smartphones that can tell you, that can figure out where your location is. That's really the catalyst that made any of these work. Checking in on a computer is useless because you're not bringing your computer everywhere. It's not easy to pull out your giant laptop while you're walking down the street, check in, and then find out what's nearby. But these really changed the game. And so mobile obviously was the biggest change and why location now has come back. Because you can bring your computer in your pocket. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. Just a little bit about the apps that you do know and a few apps that you don't know, and just explaining why this is all becoming important. So you all know, who knows Foursquare? Raise your hand. Okay, so for those who don't know Foursquare, Foursquare is what Mashable, a lot of us have called is going to be one of the hot startups of this year, and it was one of the hot ones at the end of last year. Basically, it allows me to check in to any location, say like the Hacker Dojo, and it just sends a message basically out to all my friends by a push notification on my iPhone or on Android saying like, I am here. And this is important because you want to know where the hell your friends are. Because, you know, they're your friends. And so being able to say like, oh, look, a couple of my friends are getting dinner, I can go grab with them, or it's nice to know that my friend is in LA, or my friend is leaving for a couple days because they just put it on Foursquare. And that's part of why it's become so popular, especially in like San Francisco, New York, and several other areas, and is expanding rapidly. And so this is becoming very hot. Foursquare and Gowalla, which is one of its major competitors, has also become very hot. And like I said before, this is all about better connections with friends. I'll talk about a few other apps you may have. Anyone heard of Yowza? Ooh, muy one. So, I'll give you a friend. So my friend, Greg Runberg, who's one of the stars at Hero, created an iPhone app called Yowza. And Yowza is a mobile couponing app. And so basically, you can pull up this app and press it. It uses the iPhone to tell your location, to figure out your location, and then it'll tell you all the deals around you in a nearby radius. So you could pull up and say, you know what, I'm next to the container, it finds, you're next to the Container Store. Here's a 20% coupon off everything. Barcode's right on there, scan right there. That's a lot of money saved, and that's so much simpler than couponing out, because all you really, instead of having to find the coupons come to you. And remember, we're lazy creatures. Remember that. We want to take as little effort as possible to do everything. And so this is why, and so as I was saying, it makes couponing and making deals more efficient. Anything that makes your lives more efficient is probably going to be a good thing for you and your business and whatever you do. Another app. This is Waze. Anyone heard of Waze? Interesting. I'm teaching you all something. You've heard of Waze.
Yeah, they were at the Silicon Valley Tech.
You want to tell everyone what Waze is about? Aww. This is audience participation. All right. So Waze. Waze is a mobile app. Android, I believe, it might have an iPhone up on now. That basically you have it open and it tracks where you're going, and it uses that data when you're driving in order to map the roads and figure out where traffic spots are, where traffic jams are, where roadblocks, that type of information. And because it is crowdsourced with thousands, you could create a full, complete map with all this detailed information and speeds and all that in real time.
There was a new Tmeetup about Waze.
Yes.
Yeah.
Waze has been good at promoting, and they're getting better. And like, for example, they launched in Israel, and they basically map the entire country of Israel, and now they're starting to map other cities. It's a very interesting, effective tool.